When I was in Tennessee, I stumbled on an organization known as the Ku Klux Klan. You heard of them? Worst magic show ever. Guy gave me a pamphlet. He was like, come and see the Grand Wizard. Grand Wizard, the Grand Wizard. Didn't do one trick. Not even one trick. I mean, I noticed a few black people disappear, but I mean, that's not magic. You know, that's just Reaganomics. I wasn't impressed by that. Like, where's the magic? I sat there forever. These guys running around in their sheets. Yeah, the KKK, as they're affectionately known. Has nobody bothered to tell them ever that you do not spell clan with a K? Nobody stopped. Even in America, clan is spelt with a C. The Ku Klux Klan, they're the KKC, not the KKK. You realize that? Ku Klux Klan. The C. In fact, the name is wrong. The whole thing, the Ku Klux parts of it. That's just horrible because they got that, as you know, from ancient Greece. It was Ku Klux Alphion, meaning a circle of brothers. And that's how they got their name. They call themselves a Greek circle of brothers, which is wrong for two reasons. One, if your sole purpose as an organization is to hate black people, don't you find it strange that you've now named yourself the Circle of Brothers? And secondly, do they realize that in ancient Greece, circles of brothers were doing very different things with one another? Very loving, very, yeah. If they were really a Greek circle, the sheets would be a bit higher up, just more of a, maybe one more hole. They're not a... We've been people who'd escaped the South, got into the North, were rehabilitated at this place. Frederick Douglass wrote many of his works there. The suffragette movement kicked off there. It's a powerful, powerful little place. And I was reading these stories, and what they would do is slaves would escape from the South. They'd make their way to the North. They would get to Rochester. The Underground Railroad would get them there. And then they would rehabilitate them, put them on boats, and send them to Canada so that they could live free. And I was like, it's a fascinating story for two reasons. One, to remind you that there were a lot of good people, white people out there, because a lot of time I get angry at white people, and then I'm like, no, there's good ones, calm down. And the second part of it that was amazing was that they convinced black people to get back on boats. I think that's one of the most amazing stories I've ever read. Because, do you know how convincing you'd have to be to convince someone who's they've just escaped slavery? Think about that for a second. Somebody's just escaped slavery. They've made their way there, finally. All right? They wake up after one night of free sleep. And they walk out and it's just like, hey, man, I just want to say thank you so much for everything you did for me, man. Well, you know what, my friend? Nobody deserves to live the way you lived, and I'm glad we got you out. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, my friend. Okay, all we got to do now is get you some paperwork, get you cleaned up, and put you on a boat, get you to Canada, and you can live a free life, and everything's going to be better. I'm sorry, hold up. Yeah, could you come again? What did you say? Oh, I know, the paperwork thing is weird, but we got to get you some identification. No, you said something about a boat? Yeah, we're going to get you on a boat so you can get to Canada. I don't, we don't do boats no more. I don't know if you know our history, but me and my people, we took a cruise one time. That shit didn't go so well. So, yeah, we got to find another way to get to Canada, if you don't mind. No, but the boat is the best way for us to get there from Rochester. Yeah, that might be the best way for y'all, but we gonna walk. Hell, we can run real good. We can run, but we ain't getting on no boat. My friend, you got to get on the boat. Man, I ain't got to do shit. I just got free. Imagine if I get on that boat and on the other side I'm in the same place. What they gonna say to me? Why'd you get on that boat? Because he was real nice. Oh, hell no. I ain't getting on no boat. Well, you gotta get on the boat, though. You're free now. You gotta get over this. Look, man, maybe one day in a few hundred years, one of my descendants named Kanye West will be over this shit, but I ain't over it right now. So I ain't getting on no boat. We gotta get you on the boat, damn it! I'm not getting on no boat! And that was the day the phrase "nigga please" was invented. A white man turned and he was like, "Nigga please, I need you on that boat!" And that story was passed down generation to generation. Black person to black person. Free man to free man. Said, and that white man got down on his knees and he said, nigga, please. Nigga, please, nigga, please. I ain't never heard that phrase before in my life. Nigga, please, nigga, please, nigga, please. I know that's probably a phrase Barack Obama used at least once in the White House. At least once. Like, Mr. President, do you think Trump is because of you? Do you think you caused this? Oh, nigga, please. Yankees. The man who made it all happen. Huh? He was there at Nelson Mandela's memorial service. A service that the whole world was watching. And because of that, the service was translated to everyone all over the world. Translated into all languages, including sign language. And so Yankees was there translating for those who didn't understand. Unfortunately, he also didn't understand sign language. Which is a small problem. A problem that he didn't let stop him, people. Where others see obstacles, he saw an opportunity. People go, he's a con man. He's a bloody, how could he do something so deceitful? Yeah, you gotta go, how could he do something so deceitful? That man Yankees showed something so powerful. He's a role model to the children. Because he showed that you shouldn't listen to what people say you can or cannot do. If you believe in yourself and you work hard enough, anything is possible. People told him his whole life, they're like, Yankees, you can't do sign language. He was like, we'll see about that. Bitches. And he did it. He did sign language for the most powerful people in the world. Every single one of them, Yankees was on that stage doing it and doing it well. Nobody even suspected him. Nobody. People were just like, he's doing his thing. People ask questions. Where did he come from? Did he sneak? He didn't sneak in. He'd been the official sign language interpreter for the government for the last 5 years. Yeah, official for the last 5 years. And apparently before this, people have complained. But obviously the complaints fell on deaf ears, so nothing was done about it. And so he just carried on. And now he was here, the biggest event of his life, signing for the world, signing, just making it up in the zone. Nobody suspected. I suspected though. I did. I did. Let me tell you why. No. Let me tell you why. Not because I know sign language, but because I know my president. And if there's one thing that's specific, is when Jacob Zuma reads a speech, right? Jacob Zuma reads a speech. He's a very deliberate man. He's very calm. He's very measured. Takes his time. The rhythm is the most important thing. And Yankees didn't match his rhythm. I knew there was something wrong. You remember this. Zuma was there reading Mandela's Wikipedia page, right? And while he was reading, Yankees was doing totally different, like the rhythm was wrong. Zuma was there like, and thereafter, Nelson Mandela went to Robben Island for his imprisonment. Term and to fight for the rhythm didn't match, right? Zuma was on page 1, that guy was on like page 17 or something. It didn't match up at all. It's almost like Zuma was translating sign language for us. That's how slow it looked. Sorry, I haven't practiced, guys. It didn't match up. None of it. But Yankees did it. He stayed there in the face of adversity and he fought. Yeah. He did sign language for everyone. We've got to ask ourselves questions as well as South Africans. We don't ask enough questions. For instance, did nobody think to ask him how he could speak every single language in the world? Every leader came from countries everywhere. They spoke in their language. Yankees translated for everyone. Did nobody stop to ask, Even for a second, the president of Brazil is standing up there. Nelson Mandela está στο pai. Nós de você, de casa, do gosto muito, pelado que estava pesado. Nós dos Yankees was there. Did no one say, hey Yankees, you can speak Portuguese? I'm in the zone, Baba, I'm in the zone. I'm in the zone. Did nobody think to ask? He did sign language for everyone. The ambassador of China was up there. 가도시, 전도이 넬슨 만델라. 다도 입시부 다도 신주의 공고로 바도시. Yankees was there on the side. He just made it up. He made everything up. And he did a great job at it. He did a great job. But then, like a true South African, we take it one step too far. That's what Yankees did. He had done it for everyone. He'd done a great job. The best fake sign language the world had ever seen. He had gotten away with it too, until Barack Obama came up to speak. This was a speech that was going to be performed by the most powerful man in the free world. 90 million people watching that speech. This, my friends, is the point where you pack up your little bag of tricks and you call it a day. Not Yankees. If I was Yankees, that's where I would have called it quits. I say, hey Yankees, next one, who is it? Barack Obama. The whole world is watching this one. I know, sorry guys, sorry. Sorry, hey, my fingers are cramping. I've lost my voice, sorry. Oh no, not Yankees. They're like, Barack, he's like, I'm there. And he was. Doing sign language for Barack Obama. And they found out that while he was doing the sign language, he kept on using the same signs over and over again, right? The few real signs that he actually knew. And apparently all he knew was four things that he kept on doing repeatedly. And those things, they asked afterwards, real sign language interpreters, they found that he was doing this, right? Which means greetings, yeah? Greetings, he kept on doing that. Another one he loved doing was circle, yeah? Yeah, circle. One of his favorites was smoking, yeah? And every now and again he'd go, get a little bit of that. That's all he did, over and over again. Can you imagine that? Nelson Mandela's memorial, Barack Obama pouring his heart out. There he is, Barack Hussein Obama. And Yankees. As Americans, Nelson Mandela's a man that showed that through peace, you could free not only the prisoner, but also the guard. Nelson Mandela's a man, he's beyond a man, he's a legacy. A legacy I could never aspire to be, but we could all look towards. And for me, Nelson Mandela showed that sometimes in life, you gotta go the hard way. You gotta say the things that matter. And always remember to do what counts. I could never be Nelson Mandela. Can you imagine how horrible it must have been for every single deaf person watching that speech? Imagine what it must have been like as a deaf person watching that at home, sitting there. That must have been the craziest thing they've ever seen in their lives. Deaf people just watching going, hello? Hello? What? Why is he talking about smoking? Why is he talking about smoking? I'm going to talk about Nelson Mandela. I'm talking about, talk about Nelson Mandela. What's wrong? Why is he talking about, what? Hello? Why did he? This is the worst speech ever. There's something wrong with this guy. Barack has a smoking problem. What the hell? Talk about Mandela. This guy, what's wrong with him? This is the worst speech. I can't listen anymore. This is horrible. This is horrible. Tell me when it's finished. I can't do this, man.